For Complex News, I'm Hanuman Welch, and if you're watching this, take this as a warning. Your pets are out to get you, and Mother Nature is coming for your ass. It's true, outside of dogs, and those guys are on a case-by-case basis, the animal kingdom is probably not far from taking you out and bragging about it at the next zoo gathering. This year alone has been filled with stories about domestic pets, wild animals, and everything in between trying to take out humans or even going as far as turning state's evidence to testify on their owners. I'm telling you now, if you own a parrot or even a cat, they are not to be trusted. Earlier this April, this Jurassic World-looking turkey-necked son of a bitch, aka a cassowary, aka young Velociraptor, aka the world's most dangerous bird, killed its owner in Florida. As the duly appointed representative from the state of Florida, I can tell you that this shit happens all the time. A Florida man who owned one of these rare birds died after he fell in his backyard. That man, Marvin Hajos, had made a call to 911. Shortly afterward, a second call was made to the emergency hotline stating that there was a situation involving a large bird. The man was taken to a nearby hospital, but was later pronounced dead. Do you want to know why he was pronounced dead? Because this is what a cassowary's talons look like. Outside of just the run-of-the-mill being murdered by a giant flightless dinosaur, animals seem to be expanding their abilities to absolutely fuck over human beings by turning state's evidence and being used as witnesses in court cases. Last month, police in Brazil took an alleged drug dealer's pet parrot into custody after the bird spotted cops preparing to raid his house and screamed at his owners to watch out. Now, The Guardian reported that the loyal bird reportedly called Mama Police in Portuguese as cops were preparing to raid the home of two suspected crack dealers in a neighborhood in northeast Brazil. Now, one of the cops told Brazilian media, and that was later reported by The Guardian, that, quote, he must have been trained for this. As soon as the police got close, he started shouting. Unfortunately for the feathered lookout, his warning wasn't enough to save the owners. The police managed to nab the alleged drug dealers even without the element of surprise. Now, they reportedly arrested an unnamed man and a teenage girl and seized bundles of crack from the home. The cops even brought the parrot back to the station, but so far the bird is keeping his beak shut around police. For now. And this certainly isn't the first time that a hustler's pet almost flipped and has gone full criminal informant. Plenty of criminals have almost been undone by a family pet. In spring 2016, a man was shot and killed at his home in Ensley Township, Michigan, and the only witness in the case was his African gray parrot, Bud. The body of 45-year-old Martin Durham was originally found in his home near his wife, Glenna, who had also suffered a gunshot wound to the head and was originally believed to be a second victim in the crime. However, Glenna Durham ended up surviving her injuries, and police reports suggest that she is now the main suspect in the murder. Of course, with no witnesses, all police would have to go on is physical evidence at the crime scene, but Martin's parents insist that the pet parrot might actually be the key to finding out what really happened that night. According to the family, Bud had recently started mimicking an argument between a man and a woman that sounded very similar to Martin and Glenna Durham. The most fucked up part was the bird couldn't stop repeating the phrase, quote, don't fucking shoot. At the time, police hadn't seen the video of Bud repeating don't fucking shoot, but evidence seems to strongly suggest that Glenna Durham intended to kill her husband, then herself that night. Police actually got their hands on some video of the bird practicing speaking and quoting, please don't fucking shoot.
No! Shut up! Get your over now!
Regardless of what happens, now the woman is stuck with a murder bird stool pigeon. Now, we here at Complex certainly aren't endorsing murder, but we wholeheartedly disavow snitching. Also, fuck birds as pets. Have you ever met a fun parrot? Just look at what this little girl trained her pet bird to do whenever she screamed at someone.
He's dead.
Birds are dinosaurs, and they will pick your bones clean given the first chance they get. Fuck all birds. And it's not just birds that shouldn't be trusted. Family pet Sal Esposito quickly became a viral sensation when he was summoned for jury duty back in 2010, despite being a cat. Apparently, there was confusion surrounding the census paperwork filled out by his owner, who listed him as a family member, but vehemently claimed that she listed him as a pet. Regardless, the court ordered the cat to carry out jury duty, which honestly doesn't sound half as horrifying as many of the human beings who have served as jury members. If nothing else, I hope this list inspired you to trust no animal when carrying out criminal affairs. Obviously, cats are made to flip, but what about man's best friend? In France, a snitch-ass dog named Scooby served as a witness for a murder trial in 2008. The dog's 59-year-old owner's dead body was discovered hanging from the ceiling of her apartment. Originally assumed to be a suicide case, investigators brought Scooby onto the witness stand to see if any suspects would elicit excessive barking. Sure enough, it actually worked. Again, not endorsing murder, but am taking a firm stance against having the family pet be the one who gets you locked up for the rest of your natural life. And let's zoom out here. It's not only the justice system where animals are being weaponized. Earlier this month, a beluga whale suspected of being used for Russian spying was refusing to leave a Norwegian port where it was discovered. According to the Washington Post, Norwegian Directorate of Fisheries said that the whale was found with a harness around its body and is believed to be some kind of Russian spying technology. The animal is friendlier with humans than is typical of a normal beluga, including allowing locals to come up and pet its nose. Now, the whale was first sighted last week by fishermen who noticed that it neared the boats wearing an unfamiliar harness with the inscription, quote, Equipment St. Petersburg. Now, back in the 80s in the USSR, they trained dolphins to detect weapons. In 2017, the Russian Defense Ministry revealed the country's navy had been training marine mammals for possible military operations in polar waters for decades. And certainly not to be left out, fans of electronic pets, like the digital assistant Alexa, are also very clearly not safe from having their lives destroyed by an all-too-willing potential witness in court. In 2016, an Arkansas man, 31-year-old James Andrew Bates, had been charged with the first-degree murder of Victor Collins, who was found dead in Bates's hot tub in November of 2015. To help solve the case, police wanted access to the murder suspect's Amazon Echo recordings, which has raised privacy concerns around the country. Amazon obviously pushed back against the request, even though the victim's body had cuts and bruises and blood was found in Bates's hot tub. A medical examiner ruled that there was likely a fight between Bates and Collins, which ended in Collins being strangled and drowned. Now, according to the information.com, authorities issued a warrant on the audio of Bates's Amazon Echo. While Amazon did provide Bates's account details to police, the company didn't provide all of the Echo's information logged on its servers. Police got some data from the speaker, but just how much information they were able to get isn't clear. The Echo speaker was wanted for the investigation because, according to the search warrant, quote, the Amazon Echo device is constantly listening for the wake command of Alexa or Amazon and records any command, inquiry, or verbal gesture given after that point, or possibly at all times without the wake word being issued, which is uploaded to Amazon servers at a remote location. Amazon explained their stance in a statement. Amazon will not release customer information without a valid and binding legal demand properly served on us. Amazon objects to overboard or otherwise inappropriate demands as a matter of course. So nothing in this world, billed as a companion, a pet, or an assistant, can ever be trusted. Have you been fucked over by a family pet? Let us know. For everything else, subscribe to Complex on YouTube. For Complex News, I'm Hanuman Welch.